Great radio stations across the land, iHeartRadio, Newsmax TV. It's the Joe Pag Show. Really just pleased. I'm just super excited to have Aaron Watson on the line, country music superstar. How are you, Aaron?
Joe, I'm great. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks so much for coming on today. I know how busy you are. You were just in San Antonio on Saturday, and please accept my apologies. I wish I could have stopped by, but, they make me talk 6 days a week in this job. So next time, hopefully, you and I can hook up, say hello, and shake hands. I hope that'd be okay.
Yes, sir. I'd love that. I'll give you a rain check.
Perfect. I love that. All right. Again, you're taking off like crazy. And what's funny is some people see a guy like you and they say, man, he just got a lucky break, or he just stumbled upon this success. And, here's a guy, all these people try so hard. It turns out, Aaron, it's about a 20-year success story, isn't it? I mean, your album, your song Underdog, and we're going to talk about that in a minute, actually encapsulates it. But for those who aren't that familiar, this was not some overnight thing, was it?
Yeah, a lot of people call me up and coming, but this took 18 years, 13 albums, and 2,500 shows.
But who's counting?
Yeah, but who's counting, right? But, we're just, to be doing it this long and to be in this situation, we're just so blessed and we're so thankful. And it's just a ton of fun. I mean, at the end of the day, Joe, for me, music's not an industry. This is a family business.
Yeah.
Off air, I was joking, telling you that my goal every month is just to pay off my wife's credit card bill. And I've been telling everybody, this new record, Vaquero, it's selling like hotcakes, and all the proceeds from this album go directly into my wife Kimberly's purse.
So it's a great cause. It's a special cause that people could get behind.
It's my greatest cause, taking care of my wife, my kids.
I want people to go and get the new album, Vaquero, absolutely. And again, it's Aaron Watson. Go and follow him on Twitter. Go follow him on the Facebook. Go and see him in concert. So let's go back to the journey. And I hope you don't mind. I'm going to say this anyway. And it's funny because Ted Nugent said this about me 20 years ago. We've been friends ever since. That we're kindred spirits. And I didn't know how to take that from the Motor City Madman, but I do now, and I appreciate it. And I want to tell you that we're kindred spirits. And here's why. I started in 1989. And 28 years later, people are complaining that I just got lucky and tripped into, a bunch of radio stations and being on TV. The fact is, it's about hard work, isn't it? It's about hard work. And when somebody tells you you can't do it, or you're not good enough, or forget about it, I don't know what you're thinking. What you said is what I said, and what many successful people have said is, watch me.
Well, it's the American dream, and it's the way I was raised, to work hard, to give it all you've got. I mean, and I don't think anybody has the right to discourage anybody from chasing their dreams. And they told me that I couldn't. So rather than accept that, I have a healthy chip on my shoulder, and I go after it to show them that I can. And our last record, The Underdog, made history. It became the first independent album to chart #1 on Country Billboard. We even have an exhibit at the Country Music Hall of Fame. And honestly, right now, Joe, we're in the middle of a battle right now. Our album Vaquero is another independent album, and we are going up against the mainstream music industry. I mean, I don't have $1 million budget, but what I've got is heart and hustle. And what I've also got is 18 years of treating my fans like family. And we stay true to our brand, Joe. I mean, we focus on faith, family. I've been telling people, we don't chase phases, stages, or flavors of the month. We stay true to our brand. We work hard. We ride a horse named Hustle. So, it's really kind of a movement that's going on right now. And I've just been encouraging everybody, like, if you want more tradition back in your country music, if you want more cowboy back in your country music, then you have a voice. You can help us out by buying that album Vaquero.
And I hope that everybody will go and get it. Is it out right now, or it's about to be out?
It's out right now. Right now, it's #1 on iTunes Country Chart. It's just tearing it up across the board. And we're just excited. I wrote all 16 songs. I mean, these songs are about my family. It's about my life. It's about my kids. It's about my wife. And I'm a really, really, really normal guy. So I think the reason why my music relates to so many people is because I'm relatable.
Well, without a doubt, you're relatable. I mean, we're relating right here, and you are like a regular guy. But at the same time, realize that I'm thrilled to have you
Yeah.
because you're a top artist. When I saw your videos and listened to your music, and felt the
Yeah.
songs and the stories you were telling through those songs, I felt an immediate connection, even though we'd never met. And
Yeah.
I think that's what you just said. I mean, your fans are like family, and they get treated that way.
Well, I consider myself like a small mom and pop restaurant,
Yeah.
and I want to give my fans a good atmosphere. I want to give them good service. I want to give them good food. I want to
Right.
treat them like $1 billion. And that's how I've always run my business. And it's exciting to be where we're at. And what we're doing is I'm using my platform as a way to share my love for Jesus. I'm using my platform as a way to share my love for this great country that we are so blessed to live in.
Right.
I'm using my platform as a way to inspire all those people out there with a dream. And the first time I got turned down, Joe, I went back home and I told my dad, I said, Dad, that record executive didn't like my music. And he said, that's all right. He said, they told that to Willie Nelson for years.
No.
And Dad said, Willie finally made it when he was 45. And at the time Dad told me this, I was 21 or 22 years old.
Yeah.
And I said, Dad, Willie made it when he was 45. And I said, so Dad, are you telling me that I'm going to have to do this for the next 20 something years to make it? And his response was this. He said, yep, if you want it bad enough.
Bam.
And at that point, I changed gears and I realized that I was going to have to get out there and I was going to have to earn it. And it's the same thing that I teach my children, Jake, Jack, and Jolie Kate. If you want it, you're going to have to go get it. You're going to have to earn it. And that's what we're doing right now. We're earning the trust and the respect of our fans, and we're looking for new fans. And you know what? We're excited about this new album, Vaquero.
Everybody go and get Vaquero. I checked out the song July in Cheyenne, and here's a little information from me. I'm a jazzer. I'm a saxophone player. I was a music major in college. That's what I do. I still play the saxophone on my show sometimes. So I'm not that much of a country guy, but I'm definitely an Aaron Watson guy. Interestingly, I was not a country guy growing up, but I love Johnny Cash. That doesn't seem to make sense, but you've got a storyteller who can grab your attention, and it doesn't really matter what the genre is. And I see that from you. When I saw this song, this video, July in Cheyenne, about the fallen bull rider. Holy mackerel, dude! I mean, I'm a big guy, and it was all I could do not to cry watching that. Tell me how you got inspired to write that, and man, so much feeling is put into that song.
That of all the songs I've written, Joe, that one is the most special to me.
Yeah.
Because 5 years ago, my wife and we lost a daughter. Her name was Julia Grace.
So sorry to hear that.
Well, thank you. That's the first song that I wrote after we lost Julia. And I was struggling. I mean, I was heartbroken, homesick. And I came across something that legendary bull rider's mother said. His name was Lane Frost.
Yeah.
And I came across something that Lane's mama said. And she said something like, Lane wasn't a world champion bull rider. She said Lane was a world champion bull rider, but that wasn't his greatest achievement.
Right.
She said Lane's greatest achievement came a year before he died when he asked Jesus to be his Lord and Savior. And when I saw how his mother used their heartache to bring others inspiration and joy, it really got me refocused on my faith and the bigger picture. And I wrote that song for her.
Well, listen, it's an amazing song, and I had no idea that there was a personal tragedy that you sort of shared with his family, and you made it a record again. Okay, I'll admit it. I teared up a little bit, okay? Whatever. Aaron, thanks. So listen, again, beautiful song, beautiful storytelling. You've seen commercial success now. We want to blow that out of the water. We want to make sure everybody goes and gets Vaquero. It's an amazing album. And again, I'm not necessarily that guy who goes and says, let me go listen to some country music. But your music is the kind of music that is so filled with humanity and with the story of life, that I really, really enjoyed it. And I want to go from there to something I saw in an interview with you recently that is political. You talked about Jesus. Yeah. I've got my relationship with Jesus as well. And most people listening and watching do too. And I can appreciate that that's first and foremost. And your family is right up there too. But politics has seeped into just about everything we do. And you and I are both sitting in, I think you're still in Texas today. If not, you're from Texas. We've got the longest border with Mexico.
Yes, sir.
And people like you and I agree, although many watching and listening right now don't think we do. We agree that we care about human beings. We agree that we care that people have the opportunity to do better for themselves and their families. Here's where it gets all screwed up, Aaron, and you talked about this recently in that interview. What do you do about people like you and me? I've got 5 daughters, 2 of them adopted, 3 natural born. You've got all your children and more to come. God bless you. I'm not saying I know anything about your personal situation, but you never know. The fact is, we care about families, we care about people, we care about humanity, we care that people do better for themselves. But at the same time, if we don't have some sort of a vessel through which people can come here legally, we're in big trouble in this country. So you and I think agree. Let's have everybody come here who wants to come here as long as they do it the right way. But then we get into the yelling match about wall, no wall, stop them, don't stop them. And as fathers, what do we do? What do we think?
You know, it's tough being an artist. You know, a lot of times when I see these Hollywood folks start running their mouths about politics, they just reek of ignorance.
Yeah.
So a lot of times I just try to stay focused on my music. I love Billy Graham's quote, "I'm neither for the left wing or the right wing. I love the whole bird." I also say, why talk about politics when you can talk about baseball or Jesus? But what you've said, it's a fact. I mean, there has to be accountability across our borders to keep Texas safe. And unless you are living in Texas or one of the border states, you don't understand that.
Yeah, right.
And so it's a very touchy subject, but at the same time, you know, I wrote a song on my new record called Clear as a Bell, and it's about a Mexican man who lives across the border, and he brings his daughter to Texas to give her a better life. And it's addressing humanity, and I think we've got to do everything with love, grace, and mercy, and we have to have compassion for mankind. You know, it's one of those things that we've got to figure out how to make the world better for everyone on this side of the border and the other side of the border. And, you know, I have a hard enough time balancing my own checkbook, so I'm not the man who can make that call.
Yeah.
But it's you know, it's one of those things that, like, we're Texans, and by being Texans, we have Mexican brothers and sisters that live around here.
We do.
And I have friends I have Hispanic friends who have family still living in Mexico. So you have to address these things with compassion, because you're talking about their blood, their family.
Yeah.
And so, you know, there absolutely has to be accountability around our borders. We cannot allow illegal substances to just come across our borders so freely. I mean, I've crossed over into Mexico so many times throughout my life, and a lot of times it's just a breeze. It's shocking how easy it is.
Right.
And you know, we're all immigrants, unless you're a Native American. You came here, your ancestors came here most likely because they wanted a better life for their families. So we've got to figure out a way how we can give that opportunity to everybody and also protect ourselves at the same time. And that's what my song Clear as a Bell does. It talks about is just treating each other with you know, with love and respect. And I think that's what our country's lacking. There's another song on my record called They Don't Make Them Like They Used to. And it's a call to all of us to live such good lives that someday our children and our children's children look back on us and say, they don't make them like they used to.
I love that. The name of the record is Vaquero. I want you to go and get the album, go download it. You say it's #1 in the country on iTunes right now, right?
Sir, it's kicking some rear and
Love
taking names, and you know, I want to be the poster boy for the American dream, for that little guy, that small business guy who can achieve big things by working his rear off. And we give all the glory to God. And just this opportunity, Joe, to be on the air with you, man, does great things for us. So we're just super excited. It's important, Joe, really, really important that your listeners understand that all the proceeds from this album go straight into my wife's purse.
And listen, that's pretty amazing. I love that. We got to run here. Now, there is an extended version of that. A few more minutes. Carrie, we couldn't stop talking. We hit it off really well.
Not.
He's a great guy. Really a great country artist. I want you to go and check it out. It's Vaquero. I'm going to put together the other 2 or 3 minutes of the interview that we couldn't get to here, and we'll post it online, and he's going to post it as well. We'll do that as we go forward. Your thoughts on what you just saw and heard at 1-800-383-9624. Stay right here.